My people, welcome back. Welcome back to you and I talk show New Year 2025. We made it. Let me turn down the music. Oh, my people, we made it. We made it. We made it in 2025. Welcome back, my people. You and I talk show today. It's the first show of the new year, live, the first live show of the new year, and we are on Saturday, January 4th, 2025. Oh my God, I was gonna say 2024, but we are in 2025 now, my people. Welcome back to your favorite You and I talk show. So today we're going to start in English for a few minutes. And then, as usual, we're going to continue in French and then end the show in KinyaRwanda. And then, as usual, we are answering questions and commenting and what is happening and what is important to us happening in our world. Our focus and our specialty being, since I am a political analyst and a spiritual person, speaking about African issues, all Africans, international Africans, and of course Canadians, since I'm in Canada, and of course starting in Rwanda and the Great Lakes region, Congo, the whole Tanita region, as that is where I am from. Planétaire, the land of the gods. Oh my goodness. So, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to answer a question from the Congolese, and that's why we're going to do a follow up in French as well. A question about why did Al Jazeera English, that's why we're studying in English as well. Why did Al Jazeera English send their, I don't know if it's their journalist or someone affiliated to them, someone whose name is fake Koulibaly, because I know some real Koulibalys. Koulibaly is a great name. I don't know how this journalist, European looking like, got the name like Koulibaly, because the name is getting trashed, but it's a great name, great families from West Africa. Some of them are even royal families in West Africa. But some Europeans have named herself Kuribari. I don't know how. And then she went into Congo. We don't even know if she had the visa to go into Congo to interview a terrorist group, a rebel group in Congo, which is currently supported by Rwanda, which is invading, plundering, and killing. And Al Jazeera is owned and connected to Qatar. So we're going to talk about the connection, all these connections. We're going to expose them, the connection between Rwanda and Qatar united to destroy Congo. All right, my people. So that's the topic of the day that we're going to talk about. We're going to answer a question. Let me show you the question already. The question was in French, actually. So that's why eventually we're going to get to it in French. So the question is on Twitter X. I reposted it so that I can find it faster. Where is this question? And this is the question from um from rtnc.cd. I think this is Radio Télévision Nationale Congo. And as they're saying in French, nous sommes la presse officielle de la République démocratique du Congo. So this is the official press of the Democratic Republic of Congo. and they're asking a question. What is the intention behind the English media, Al Jazeera English, your story, your platform, my we're gonna find out whose story, whose platform. Why? What is the intention behind the media, the English media, Al Jazeera English, to give an exclusive interview to the Rwandan terrorists of the M23 who are operating on Congolese soil? So this is the fake Koulibaly. Huh? Can you see her? Okay, yeah, you see her. That would be the fake Koulibaly journalist. Huh? Like violating Congolese soil because nobody knows if she has permission to go into Congo, let alone go interview terrorists who are terrorizing Congo, plundering and killing in Congo. Look at that. Huh? So apparently her name is Bojana Koulibaly. Fake names all over the place. Interviewing terrorists in Congo, all the way from Rwanda. Oh my goodness. Let's remind people that a Rwandan journalist had done this. She had also done this a while ago. This Rwandan journalist, her, she had also went to Congo a while ago and also interviewed the terrorist organization. And I had actually spoken and talked about how her and the terrorist organization who are plundering in Congo serve the same people, which is the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So in this video, which is in KinyaRwanda, which we're gonna get to in KinyaRwanda, she's telling the Congolese, the Rwandans in Congo, that they are so finished because this guy, who is a Rwandan in the Congolese army, has been put in charge of fighting against the Kagamistan in Congo. So it's a war. It's between Rwanda and Rwanda, Rwandans on Rwandans fighting in Congo. Madness! Total madness. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to tell you my perspective, my opinions, my observations, my research on the whole madness, and answer that question and explain everything in English, in French, and all the way into KinyaRwanda. So welcome to the show, my people. And if you have questions, post them in the chat, and then I will definitely answer them. And if you want to come into the show and express yourself, I'm posting right now the link. I'm posting the link in the comments. Click on the link, come to the studio, express yourself. It's open mic. It's open mic and it's open to everyone. But we want you to use your real name and show us who you are so you can stand behind whatever it is that you're talking about. All right. Welcome back, my people. All right, my people. So let's start this classroom. It's a classroom, my people. Bombardement and direct. We're going to talk about it. Let's start this classroom by explaining the madness that is happening, so that we could eventually get to that Al Jazeera thing. Now, how do I start by explaining to you what is happening? And I want to start by showing you reminding you what is the American foreign policy, because the USA is involved, and the USA is the power that brought the Kagamistan in Rwanda into power. Let's remember that they took over Rwanda by the power of the gun, and they were supported by the UK, by the USA, and the American army was the very first army to land in Rwanda after they supported the rebels who had been invading Rwanda and killing since 1990. And then after the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, they took over still by the power of the gun after assassinating two African presidents. Now, the criminal dictatorship in the Kagamistan in Rwanda has military accords with France, the USA, the UK. It's pretty much getting supported by all these predators that have been plundering and killing in Africa for generations. And then, of course, he's also supported by some of the Arabs, and the main supporter, one of the main supporter being Qatar, which he has sold Rwandan land, the Rwandan airport. Qatar is investing and invested in Africa to colonize and to plunder. Historically, the Arab world was actually invested in colonizing and plundering and enslaving Africans, and this has not stopped. It has just changed the way that they do it. But the Arab world is heavily invested in colonizing and enslaving Africans as well. And it also needs to be denounced if Africa is ever going to be free. So let's start by reminding people of what is the overall policy, foreign policy from the USA, from the UK, Canada, all these the international mafia and the Arab world, that their policy since ancient times until today, until tomorrow, is as this man that I'm sharing with you, Peter Zehan, who is a specialist on geopolitics. I'm not saying that everything that he says is right, because sometimes he is wrong, like how he was wrong on Biden versus Trump. I was right, he was wrong. Obviously, I cannot miss the opportunity to remind people of that. That I predicted a Trump win, and Peter Zahan predicted a Biden win by a landslide. Wrong. But anyways, the point is that you may be wrong sometimes. Doesn't mean you're wrong all the time. If you're intelligent, you listen to other intelligent people, and then you pick up some of the intelligent stuff that they say. And it doesn't mean that intelligent people are never gonna be wrong or say things that are not so intelligent every now and then. So that's my take on Peter Zahan. So I love a lot of what he says, even though every now and then he's wrong, but it doesn't mean that he is not so smart and so intelligent and so on point every now and then. So in this video, he talks about the United States having a long history of supporting minority rule against the majority to make sure that while the minority is busy sabotaging the majority, that then none of these countries will ever be strong. So support, for example, the minority, the M23, the Rwandans, or the so-called Tutsis, to sabotage and to kill and plunder in Congo and sabotage the majority, and then keep them occupied in wars so that they may never become strong, so that then our continent will never become strong. You can see how tiny little Rwanda is compared to the magnificent, the huge King Congo. So I wanted for us to start from this reminder, okay? So let's hear it from the man himself. Then from this, we will go on into, yeah, so minute one.
Branding of what used to be called the Al Nursa front. Nursa, that. Anyway, which brings us to policy. The United States has a long history of backing the smaller group against the larger group, no matter who's involved, no matter where it is. The idea is if regional powers are tied down with local affairs, they can't consolidate, become bigger and bigger, become imperial, and eventually threaten the United States in the Western Hemisphere. It's
My people, did you hear that? Did you hear that? This is blatant in your face. They have a long history of supporting a minority group, no matter where it is, so that while people are busy fighting, nobody else becomes great again. You know, America talking about we're gonna make America great, MAGA. You know, I have an idea. It's Mama Africa. We're going to make Africa magnificent again. But how can we make Africa magnificent again when Africa is sabotaged and when other powers have as a foreign policy to support minority groups that keeps bringing wars and keeps sabotaging the majority so that we may never become strong. So the thing is that Africans don't have those imperialistic and enslavers mentality that if we become strong, if we become powerful, we're going to go out there and kill them and enslave them. I think this is what the Western world and Chinese world, Arab world maybe be concerned about, because they have that in them. They have the enslavers and imperialistic mentality where when they're strong, they use their strength to go out there and to enslave and to colonize. So they're so scared. They're so afraid that if somebody else becomes strong, maybe they're going to get colonized and enslaved. But it's not like that with Africans because our philosophy, our foundation, our values is Ma'at. So that is the very first point that I wanted people to remember in this conflict between Rwanda and Congo, that the United States is supporting Rwanda against Congo precisely because this is their foreign policy: support a minority to bring drama, to bring trouble, so that the majority will never be free, never free itself, never become great. So that's the first point. Now, the second point, in order for people to understand why Al Jazeera Arab network in Qatar, based in Qatar, would send this fake Kuribari journalist to Congo to interview the um, terrorists in Congo who are part of the minority, who are sabotaging the majority, as it is in the foreign policy of the superpower wannabe. The second thing is to remind people of the ties between Qatar and the Kagamistan in Rwanda, and to remind my fellow Africans, the Congolese people, that a while ago I went on a Congolese platform network and did an interview, a bombardement intellectuel, and Rwanda was about to go into negotiations with Congo in Qatar. Remember that trap, my people, when Rwanda had trapped Congo and talked about go into peaceful negotiations in Qatar? And then I went on the Congolese network and did a bombardement intellectuel and called for the boycott. And then luckily, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But I would like for people to remember that, in case you haven't seen, the show. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you so you can see it for yourself. So this will be a way for us to remind you of the ties that need to be exposed between the Kagamistan in Rwanda and Qatar, right? They go way back, my people. They go way back. So this is on my YouTube, You and I Talk Show YouTube channel, the community post that I have made. This is 1 year ago, as you can see, my people. The interview on Ashka today. You can see it for yourself. I posted it here on my, you know. So Rwanda, the Kagamistan in Rwanda had tried to trap the Congolese people into going into negotiations in Qatar. Qatar was trying to act as if they are a mediator, as if they are going to mediate and bring peace between Rwanda and Congo. But it's a fake. And so I went on there, denounced it, denounced the madness, reminded people of the ties. Qatar has invested in Rwanda, bought lands. The Kagamistan confiscates lands from our fellow Africans only to sell the land to some Europeans and Arabs, foreigners. He's creating a crisis that generations after him will have to face, after selling out Rwandans to all these enslavers wannabe. So Qatar is heavily invested in Rwanda land and sponsoring the Kagamistan, invested in the airline and the airports. And so they cannot be a mediator when Rwanda is involved in the conflict because they're heavily invested in Rwanda. And then on top of that, Qatar was one of the powers which was involved in bringing down Gaddafi in Libya. And the most recent one, Qatar is involved in bringing down Syria and installing another regime, which just yesterday some of its leaders were also called terrorists. Now, Al Jazeera is owned by Qatar. In this show that I did with the Congolese people, we had also talked about how a war is fought on three M's. You need three M's in order to win a war: M, media; M, military; M, money. When you have these three M's, you are certain to win a war. And when you're fighting a war, you must fight a war on these three fronts. Otherwise, you cannot fight and win a war. So Rwanda, the Kagamistan in Rwanda is fighting a war against Congo, and it's fighting in all those fronts. On the media front, now they're attacking Congo as if it wasn't enough. The Kagamistan in Rwanda has attacked Congo militarily using the money that it gets from being sponsored by the Arabs and by the Europeans to attack, kill, and plunder our fellow Africans. As you know, the European Union even have agreements with Rwanda for Rwanda to sell it things that it doesn't have, they know that it's plundering in Congo. And all this has been exposed in Onana's book, Holocaust in Congo, which is available in French and in English. So now Al Jazeera sending the fake Koulibaly journalist is just another way of fighting on the media front. And since Qatar, which owns Al Jazeera, which was involved in the destruction of Libya and which is involved in the destruction of Syria, and in Syria, they just insult people who yesterday used to be called terrorists, but they have washed them now and calling them whatever it is, liberators. They may attempt to do the same thing in Congo, use their medias, use their military, use their money, the three M's, the three fronts, in order to bring chaos, to bring disorder, to divide Congo, to take over Congo through blood, through chaos. And so the people who are terrorists today in Congo will be washed through their medias so that they can portray them as otherwise or fake liberators. And then when they get in power, they be using their medias to wash the people who are terrorists, who have been terrorizing the Congolese people, who have killed over 10 million lives, raped countless women, children died. They will wash them and try to portray them as liberators in Congo using their medias, while their military is attacking Congo, still killing and still plundering. And then, of course, the money is serving for that. So, Congolese people asking the question as to why would Al Jazeera English send, what is the intention behind the media to go and interview the terrorists? Well, the intention is to serve their own interest. They are in bed with the Kagamistan in Rwanda, and they have been known to topple other powers using the military, and now they're using the media, and it's just the same agenda to sabotage Congo, to kill, to plunder Congo, to support a minority group that will always keep these Africans fighting so that they may never become strong and become a superpower for themselves, my people. So that's what it is. That's all that's happening. Questions? All right, I'm moving to the comments, see if there's any comments, and then I'm gonna move into French right away. Evening star, I see you. All right, I'm gonna move into French right away. Thank you so much, so much love back at you. All right, my people. So I'm going to move into French and speak about it in French so that our fellow Africans in Congo, our Congolese people, can definitely get everything that I'm saying as well, since it concerns even Congo first and foremost. Thank you so much for being here, my people. La famille, bienvenue, bienvenue.